Hey, my name is Josh Bashan, and thanks again for joining us over at Sodas and Such, where we take a look at craft sodas and just try to expand our horizons about good tasting drinks from all around the world. Today's soda we're going to look at is Sioux City Root Beer. Sioux City Root Beer is produced by a company called White Rock, and White Rock's been around for about 150 years and has a really long and deep history with mixed drinks, with the spirit of St. Louis, and really requires its own video to kind of unpack its role in the drink industry. Sioux City Root Beer, however, was started to be produced in 1987, so it's relatively new, and you may not even heard of Sioux City Root Beer. You may have heard of the more famous Sioux City Sarsaparilla from the Big Lebowski.
You got a good sarsaparilla?
Sioux City Sarsaparilla?
Yeah, it's a good one.
With Sioux City Root Beer, we have a made with cane sugar, caffeine-free root beer that really boasts no other big claims on its packaging other than your grandpappy probably drank this once with the guy that's sitting right there at the table. Maybe at a Cracker Barrel, maybe at a saloon. I don't know. With the packaging and the branding of Sioux City Root Beer, they want you to think that this is an old-timey root beer, which is not an uncommon marketing technique, but considering that this soda is just over 30 years old, it's just not true. So, what is so special about Sioux City Root Beer? I don't know. This Amazon site tends to have some things to say about rootin' tootin' and something along the lines of strong root beer smell. So where can you find Sioux City Root Beer? Honestly, if you're kind of northern, about anywhere. It's served at most Meijers, most grocery stores. But they have a website, which I'll drop in the description below, where you can type in your zip code or your address and you can find the nearest store that sells Sioux City Root Beer. Makes it pretty easy to track it down, and I always think that's a great thing to do for a craft soda, because either you're going to be hitting it up at random gas stations, random stores, watching it bounce around, hoping you find it, or you can just simply put it in and go track it down yourself. So honestly, this is kind of an expensive bottle of root beer. Now, I went and bought mine today at a standalone soda shop, which always tends to run a little bit more expensive, and paid around $3. But even through online searching or just going and looking at other random stores, you're gonna pay about $1.50 to $2 per bottle for Sioux City Root Beer. That's more than Virgil's on average. And this, again, doesn't claim to be anything special other than just we've been around forever, which we know is quite not the case, and that your sarsaparilla is supposed to be better, and according to this guy on the internet, it's your birch beer. But all that is moot and unknown until we have the taste. Boom, boom. So Sioux City Root Beer has a twist off top, which is always nice. I always enjoy that. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, so nothing like groundbreaking with the unveiling there. I kind of like my root beers to just explode when I open them up. Actually, I don't have a preference, it's however. But anyway, let's take a little sip here and see what we have. So on the first drink, on the first pass, there's not really anything that super stands out. Now, this has been chilled in my fridge for most of the day, and I bought it from a fridge, so barring temperature, there shouldn't be anything crazy going on that would influence the taste a lot, but there's just not really a lot going on here. I will say, like, I've had this at Cracker Barrel a lot, and so it's a good, like, drink with something kind of a drink, because it kind of accentuates what's already there. Not getting a lot. There's like a background note, maybe like that licorice that's hanging around, but there's nothing that jumps out really strong at me. It is a little more fizzy, like not a Dr. Pepper kind of a fizz, but more in a mug kind of root beer, bubbly, just soft popping in the back of my mouth. You can even hear, like, after I take a drink, all the bubbles. I mean, man, I don't know. You say you've been around forever, and it just kind of tastes like you've been in a barrel forever. All right, so what do I think about this? I think as far as smoothness goes, it's not super abrasive, but it doesn't wash through really well. So I think for smoothness, honestly, I gotta give this like a 6. It's not scraping the inside of my mouth with sandpaper. It's not gritty by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not smooth at all. Let's just make sure. It's just getting more fizzy. It's just getting more fizzy as I go along. All right, so how does taste stand up here? This tastes like sweet water. Sweeter than LaCroix, if you want to call that sweet water. But the overall taste, there's nothing there. There's nothing that's stronger than anything else. There's nothing that jumps out at me. There's some weird background flavor attacking the back of my tongue that I don't know what it is, but it keeps sneaking up on me and overwhelming me. But it's not bitter. It's not sweet. I don't know what it is. But taste, man, I would rather drink water. I mean, this has got to be like a 5 on the taste. As far as smoothness, as far as taste, fizziness goes, it's got a good amount of fizz. I wouldn't say that it has a good fizz to it, but it's there. It's not devoid of that. So I'll give the fizziness a 7. That seems fair. But again, it doesn't complement what's going on. It is just some weird, like, bubbling sensation going on. Sweetness, this is really sweet. It's not in a good way. This doesn't taste like cane sugar. It just doesn't. It doesn't taste good. Its sweetness is like coming up behind this odd sensation. I don't know. Again, this is not good. There's pure cane sugar is the second ingredient behind carbonated water. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Sweetness, it is sweet. It is really, really sweet. It's got 43 grams of sugar in it, but it's not a good sweetness. So even though it is perceivably sweet, it's not complimentary. So I'll have to give sweetness a 6 on this one as well. So overall, if I was to combine the scores and then ignore an average or try to actually make a real mean, I would have to say that this gets a 5. Honestly, for what I paid for it, it's not very good. If someone gave this to me, it's not very good. So this is a root beer that, like, if I'm at a store, I'm not gonna say, man, you should get a Sioux City Root Beer. Honestly, if I'm at Cracker Barrel, I'm gonna say, you might want to think twice about getting this root beer because you might not like it. It might go good with something. Again, I can remember having this in the past and going like, yeah, this complements my mac and cheese and my lemon pepper rainbow trout. But on its own, it is just overall not good. So if you want to try it sometime, someone gives you one, do it. But if you're gonna spend your money on something at a soda shop or you find it, maybe try something else on the menu. I don't know, just my thoughts. Anyway, I just always want to thank you for joining, being a part of this. like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know, do you like Sioux City Root Beer? Are you gonna come attack me because I'm attacking your favorite root beer? Why do you like it? Why do you not like it? What have you thought about it? When have you enjoyed one? Was it on a beach? Was it next to a cow? I don't know. Tell me your stories. We have a Patreon as well that will be linked in the description below. What I tend to do with the Patreon is you will subscribe at any level, and I draw at random after every video winners to give away the rest of the bottles of whatever pack of soda I bought. Now again, this Sioux City is garbage and I didn't buy it in a pack, but I make sure that, you know, at least there's always 3 winners, and I'll mail one, it'll show up on your door and you get to enjoy it or put it in a frame or hang it up somewhere and look at it. Because if you are interested in that, jump on the Patreon. At any level, again, you'll get entered into a chance to win a root beer with every one of these that we make. Love to build a community that talks and learns about sodas together and just shares and gives recommendations and grows our knowledge and understanding of craft sodas and the world around us. Hey, see you guys later.